Namaskar and very good evening to all participants. I'm very happy to see all of you again in another session of this Bhagavad Gita series. And today is our seventh lesson, and we will be covering the topic on Karma Yoga. As usual, I would like to begin this session by paying obeisance to my Guru Deva, Sri Sri Ananda Murti, who's the inspiration behind this sharing session. Okay, this will be the outline of today's presentation. Okay, as usual, I would like to repeat this some basic thing that the the purpose of this sharing is about spreading the principles of Sanathana Dharma. And Sanathana Dharma is about the journey of a Jivatma or the Atman, whose nature is eternal or Sanatan. And in its journey in this manifested universe, the Jivatma will strive to return to its source, Purushottama or Brahma. And during this journey, this Jivatma will go through many various forms in its incarnation. And the highest manifestation is the form of human being. And when it takes the human form, it will try or strive to fulfill Purushartha, okay, or the endeavor, or which is the endeavor of Purusha, which is known as Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Okay, Dharma is this psycho-spiritual longing, which happens after spiritual awakening. Artha is the urge for progress, and Kama is the urge for survival, and Moksha is the urge of enlightenment. And last week, I tried to explain this concept of Purushartha from another perspective, by giving this example where you can classify or categorize all the expression, the basic expression of a Jivatma in 4 baskets. Okay, each one of it represent the 4 Purushartha. And the Purushartha is basically the expression of the samskara or the karmic debt of Jivatma in a particular incarnation. We will see more into this because today's topic is on Karma Yoga. So we will explore the concept and the principles of this Karma Yoga, and so on. Okay, so I would like to recap some important points from last week. Okay, that human being should follow Satya in their life. Satya means action. Okay, in Sanskrit, Satya is defined as Parahitartam Vanmanasa Jatartatvam Satyam, means, which translates as the action which result through the 5 sensory organ, 5 motor organ, and the mind, which result in the welfare of others. That means following Satya means to ensure that all your action using your senses and the mind results only in the welfare of others and not harming anyone in any way. The second principle is every human being should do sadhana or spiritual practice daily. And every human being should also participate in satsang, where there's an opportunity to discuss great ideas. Okay, like the Dharma Bodhana, discussion on dharmic discourses, okay, or studying scriptures like Upanishads, Bhagavad Giita, and so on. And while we get involved in satsang, there's a proper method to study the spiritual subject, okay, or the scripture. That is Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Shravana means to listen, okay, listen intently. Manana is to reflect the what I call the principle which is which is being discussed. And Nididhyasana is to be immersed in the truth, and this will eventually lead to meditation. Okay, and every human being also should understand how the mind functions and manage, and the mind should be managed properly. Okay, and we have discussed this in a few lessons, in few classes ago, that the mind comprises of conscious and subconscious and unconscious. Unconscious is also known as causal, which has three more layers, which is known as supramental, subliminal, and subtle causal. And last week, we discussed about the importance of subconscious mind and how subconscious mind, when utilized properly, will lead you to progress, and when it is utilized wrongly, can lead you to downfall. And the next point is every sadhaka or dharmika should be an astika and understand the basic principle, or which is known as the principles of what is Jivatma, what is Paramatma, and Veda. And Veda is the source of knowledge which reveal the secret of Brahma Vidya, and through Brahma Vidya, the secret of what they call merging with Paramatma. Okay, how a Jivatma can merge with Paramatma will be revealed. And every human being should also understand the dual nature of life and develop forbearance. And the most important thing is the Atman is the permanent thing, and while our life is impermanent. Now let's go into the concept of karma. Okay, and this is a very common word to whoever is interested in spirituality. They'll always talk about this concept. Okay, this is quite a common concept in the school of Sanathana Dharma, in Buddhist school, and also in the school of Jaina. So karma, okay, the word itself is formed by the root verb kar. It means to do something. Karma refers to every action that an individual performs in this world. And every karma or action will have an equal reaction, and this is known as karma pala, or the fruit of action. That means you do something, there's an equal reaction. That is karma pala. In collective form, this karma pala is also known as samskara. In some other schools like Vedanta, it is known as vasana. And Patanjali in Yoga Sutra call it karma shaya. So all this refers to the same thing. Okay, it's a reaction. There's action and there's reaction. Karma, karma pala. Okay, now talking about karma pala or samskara, there are three categories, three types of samskara. Okay, which you can see here. The first is sanchita. Sanchita is a collection of all karma pala from past and present. Means in current life, to understand sanchita, you look at the second term there is prarabdha. Prarabdha is the current samskara which is in motion. So prarabdha means the sanchita is your account, your karmic account, and easily you may have 10 to 15 lives in your sanchita account. And out of that sanchita account, a portion will be taken after your death in your previous life, and this prarabdha determines your current state of life, your lifespan, your economic status, who will be your parents, your siblings, your spouse, your friends, enemies, and so on. All this will be determined by your prarabdha, and that will be in motion. So lifespan, let's say your lifespan is 80, so this is determined by the prarabdha. And while undergoing this prarabdha, you will also have certain willpower. So, I mean, apart from the other life forms, animals and plants, human beings, because of their developed mind, so they have some or certain level of willpower, and that allows them to perform agami karma. So animal can't perform agami karma, and animal don't have these three categories: sanchita, prarabdha, and agami, because they express themselves through instinct. Okay, so if a tiger catch a deer and kill a deer and eat, so that is just natural in the animal kingdom. So there is no karma involved there. But in the case of human being, we have karma because every action is registered in your mind. So agami is independent action. So prarabdha is not an independent action. It's called also known as samskara mulaka karma. And agami karma, because it's an action through your own willpower, it's an original action. So it is known as pratyaya mulaka karma. Okay. So while performing agami karma, you will be earning new samskara, and this will go into your sanchita account. So your sanchita account contains samskaras from past life and also the current one. That means you continue to refuel, your sanchita account. Okay. So unless you have an awakening and you decide that you want to exhaust these karmas, you will continue the cycle. Okay. So next, but now another interesting point is prarabdha itself. Okay, it has three categories. So one is known as drida, the other one is adrida, and that one is trida adrida. So trida is a fixed samskara. Adrida is unfixed, means it's modifiable. And drida adrida, it is somewhere in between drida and adrida. Okay, I'll give an example. Someone contract cancer. If this cancer is due to a drida samskara, so that cancer will be terminal. That person will die through that cancer. But if it is a cancer due to adrida samskara, the person will find some therapy and will respond to that therapy and will be cured. And suppose the cancer belongs to the drida adrida category, it will be a chronic cancer. That means the person may live for 20, 25 years, 30 years with a series of relapse. So and they have to be under very tight medication and health management process. Okay. So you can apply this drida adrida and drida adrida principle with all the things in your life. Means, let's say a marriage. In some cases, marriage is fixed. So there'll be a certain spouse you will definitely marry. Okay. But with regards to the number of children, it could be drida adrida, or it could be adrida. See? Or maybe certain soul definitely will be, certain jivatma has to be born through your family, through you, through your union with your spouse. So you may have two children, and the third one might be adrida category. That means you may avoid that child. So like that, this can be applied to every aspect of your life. Could be your profession. Some people have a drida profession, so it means they're gonna get fixed at one profession, gonna be there. And some people may change profession a couple of times. Okay, some people may progress in the profession. Maybe they join certain service and then later they continue to study, they get promoted, switch job and so on. Okay, or some people might be in a salaried job in the beginning, and then somehow in the middle, suddenly they decided to become an entrepreneur. So like that, the various aspects of our life will fall under these three categories: drida, adrida, and drida, adrida. Okay. If you want to get a better understanding, maybe you can raise some question at the end. Okay. Then another point is how far can you modify? Okay. Modify your samskara. It depends on your willpower, and your willpower depends on the Atma Shakti. It depends on how much sadhana that you perform. Okay, now let us look at the concept of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, in a very straightforward sentence, you can say it is an action with spirit of dedication. Okay, and this is very common. Means it's not like something unknown to you; it's something that's already known to you. For example, when you start a family, so the father is automatically is a person who's dedicated to ensure the survival of the family. So the father will work day and night, or will take two jobs to ensure that he could put food on the table, and could ensure that the children get proper education. And the other person in the family, the mother, will dedicate. You see, in every family, their mother will be very hardworking. Will wake up early in the morning and do all the household chores to ensure the welfare of the family, the entire family members. So this is Karma Yoga, means there is a spirit of dedication. But the thing is in the limited sense. This dedication is in the limited sense. There is a dedication towards your family, but it's good. Means there are people in this world, they don't even have this dedicated this spirit of dedication, so they'll be quite selfish. Okay. They may not even start a family. Even if they start a family, they will just left the family halfway. See, that is basically because of their level of evolution, so they don't have the spirit of dedication. But most people who fulfill their basic duty as a family, as a head of family, as a mother and all that, so they already know the principle of Karma Yoga. So they may not study this technically, but they know by instinct they do that. But when you expand this spirit of Karma Yoga to a larger cause, that's where the Karma Yoga become more effective. Like someone who's involved in a scientific study, maybe research in medicine, and which results in what I call finding some cure for some disease, some incurable disease, and a lot of people are going to benefit, or several generations of people are going to benefit. For example, um, decades ago, someone discovered penicillin. That was a great um result from Karma Yoga, and after that, some real fatal disease could be prevented. And even today in our current situation, so some scientists were racing day and night, so to find the vaccine. So we already have about eight type of vaccine currently, with various degrees of efficacy. So this is a result of Karma Yoga. Okay, but greater than it's already great. So whenever you get involved with some for some greater cause, that is Karma Yoga. But this Karma Yoga the scope will be further expanded when you try to become totally selfless. Okay, so I'll just like to quote this sloka from the second chapter. So karmani eva dikharasthe ma phalesu kadachana ma karma pala heturpur te sango twa karmani. So here Krishna told Arjuna, you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your action. And never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. So here, this is the higher spirit, higher principle of Karma Yoga. That means always strive to perform your duty to your level best, and do not bother about the fruit of action. Because when you are focused in ensuring that the action is performed with utmost sincerity and efficiency, so the result will also be the best. You don't have to focus on that, because when the moment we focus on the result, it will dissipate our focus, to dissipate our energy. This is what Arjuna was doing actually on the eve of the battle. He started to worry about the outcome of the battle, and that's why he lost the focus. So suddenly he was overcome by fear. Okay, so basically karma is action with a proper attitude. Then subsequently, so he was instructed to be steadfast in the performance of his duty. Okay, Arjuna, be steadfast in the performance of your duty, abandoning attachment to the success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So this is uh, karma yoga in its highest form. Okay, we'll come to this more after exploring a few other slokas. Okay, so if you look at this illustration, some of these pictures, so we see many people in various occupations. You can see farmers, you can see a doctor, you can see a teacher, okay, you can see a mother in a household, a father, okay, who's working in his office. So all of us are constantly involved in karma. And when we perform this karma with dedication, so that it becomes karma yoga. Okay, so your first level of karma yoga is to perform action with the spirit of dedication. So for everyone, that happens at a family level, dedication towards the family's welfare. And next, through your profession, you could also dedicate your action towards the welfare of others. I mean, a farmer, of course, all these are economic activities, but at the same time, if you indulge in your activity truthfully, to ensure that, for example, a farmer will ensure that they will ensure that the agricultural produce is of utmost quality for the consumption of human being. A doctor should ensure that the patient's health and welfare, is of utmost importance. It's not only the money. And a teacher should ensure that the children receive the best education. They have to put all the effort to ensure that the children could expand their mind, and the process will ensure the students, after each class, will improve in their studies and so on. So this is karma yoga at the next level. Okay, so before we go further into that, so now we enter the third chapter. So the first two slokas. So here Arjuna says, Jyayasi chet karmanasti mata buddhir janartana tat kim karmani gore mam niyojayasi keshava yam shrineva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tat ekhang vada nischitya jena shrayoham apnuyam, which translates, Arjuna said, O Janardana, if you consider knowledge as superior to action, then why do you ask me to wage this terrible war? My intellect is bewildered by your ambiguous advice. Please tell me decisively the one path by which I may attain the highest good. Okay, because this is in connection with Krishna's instruction in the previous chapter. Because Krishna said that knowledge is superior to action. Okay, so that's why he's asking. So if you say that knowledge is superior, so now why are you asking me to wage this war? I'd rather be a jnani, someone who pursues the path of knowledge. I rather pursue and the journey towards enlightenment. So that was his argument. And in reply to that, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lokesmin dvivida nista pura prokta mayanaga kyana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yogina. So the Blessed Lord said, O sinless one, the two paths leading to enlightenment were previously explained by me. The path of knowledge for those inclined towards meditation or contemplation, and the path of work for those inclined towards action. All right. So this is what do you call that? So this is Krishna's reply. That, of course, I explain about the concept of enlightenment and so on. But the keyword here, so he said, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yogina. So now, let us explore again some key concept. So what is yoga? So yoga is one of the important ones because all the 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, okay, it is named after yoga. Like first one is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, second one is Sankhya Yoga, third one is Karma Yoga, and so on and so forth. So yoga means union. Okay, etymologically is union. It's a very straightforward word, and it refers to the union of Jivatma and Paramatma. Okay, Jivatma is in the state of ignorance, and it is in the journey in this universe, and it is knowingly or unknowingly this Jivatma is striving to merge with Paramatma. Next, what is Jnana? Okay, in Tamil they pronounce this as Jnana. Okay, in Sanskrit it's Jnana. So Jnana means awareness and also knowledge. The awareness of that I exist, is actually Gyan. And Jnana also refers to knowledge that you acquire. So Jnana Yoga is the process of attaining union with Paramatma or attaining higher awareness by first the scriptural studying of scriptural knowledge, and second is practice of yoga or meditative process such as the Raja Yoga, Laya Yoga and so on. Okay, and Sankhya actually refers to one particular school of philosophy, which actually was the first school of philosophy in the Indian continent. Okay, and the school of Raja Yoga is based on this philosophy. And the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is based on this Sankhya. So what Krishna is trying to reveal through this particular sloka is that Karma Yoga is Karma Yoga belongs to a person of action, and Jnana Yoga is for the person with a philosophical makeup who has that kind of trait. Okay, and in this context, Karma Yoga refers to action performed with dedication towards the Guru or Paramapurusha. So we always need something to dedicate. Okay, so then only the ordinary karma can be transformed as Karma Yoga. And through Karma Yoga, you can actually exhaust, a person can exhaust the samskaras or their karma pala or vasanas. And this will prepare the person to take up the higher meditative process. Okay, like as mentioned in the sloka just now. Okay, to get a better understanding of this. In the subsequent sloka, he said, one cannot achieve freedom from karmic reaction by merely abstaining from work, nor can one attain perfection of knowledge by mere physical renunciation. It means here he's telling that everyone is compelled to perform action. Okay, that means you cannot sit quietly, isn't it? You have to breathe, you have to eat. Okay, even for basic survival, you need to perform some sort of action. So nobody, can stop from action. Even the heavenly bodies do not stop from performing action. Even the earth is continuously rotating on its axis and also moving on its orbit. Same goes with the moon and all other heavenly bodies. If any of these heavenly bodies, if they stop, so what will happen? Now, in the subsequent sloka, he said, there is no one who can remain without action even for a moment. Indeed, all beings are compelled to act by the qualities born of material nature. Now the subject goes into a more philosophical discussion. Okay, so what is meant by qualities born of material nature? In this universe, again, everything will fall under this 3 mode of expression. One is known as sattva guna or sentient force, and the second is the Rajoguna or Rajasic force. Okay, this is action oriented. This is they call mutative force. And the third one is Tamas. This is static force. And we have these three forces in us, and in entire universe, these three forces are there. And our actions are determined by these forces. Okay, this is what Krishna meant that by saying that everyone is compelled to perform action by these three forces. Okay. So here, the key terms here is that in this universe, this Prakriti is the manifestation of or the guiding force of this universe. So the Prakriti utilizes the three gunas to govern the universe. That is the first principle. The second, this supreme consciousness or Brahma is composite of Shiva or consciousness and Shakti, the operative principle. And the operative principle utilizes these three gunas. Okay. Let's see an illustration. Okay. The supreme consciousness, so in the Indian mythology, so they have this illustration that the supreme being is half male and half female. Okay, this is to explain the tattva, to explain the concept. It's just like fire and heat. Shiva is the fire and Shakti is the heat, and they are inseparable. That is the principle which is being explained here. And in the state of balance, when Shiva and Shakti is in the state of balance, it is known as Nirguna Brahma. And we are not in the state of Nirguna Brahma. Okay, I know this is a bit technical, but just bear with me. Then next is, what is the state of this universe? So the second sutra, so this sutra, Shiva Shakti Atmakam Brahma, is from Ananda Sutram. So the philosophical treatise which Guru Sri Sri Anandamurti wrote. The next is Saktisha Shivasya Shakti. I'm sure you're also familiar with this illustration. So this is the goddess Kali standing on Lord Shiva, who appears to be like dead. Okay. So this is the state of our universe where the Shakti aspect of the Supreme Being is dominant with the three gunas. Okay. And she's the mother because she brought forth all of us into existence as Jivatma. Okay. And she will also guide us to go back to Brahma. And when we choose to be in ignorance, she will use the force of tamas to keep us in ignorance. Okay, this is the cycle. Okay, so this is the depiction. Okay, in each and every one of us, the Shiva, whom you could see here lying down, is sleeping within all of us as a principle, as the Atman. It is sleeping. And we are very active in this world. Okay, and all the gunas, the Rajo guna and the Tamo guna, keep us engaged with this universe. And only when there's an increase of Sattva guna, you will be awakened to activate or to seek this Atman again in the journey of enlightenment. Okay. So as naturally we have been have been governed, okay, or influenced by Prakriti. Okay. So Shakti as Prakriti, she's governing us, she's controlling us. So naturally we have a lot of karmas to exhaust. That's why Krishna said, karma yogena, yogina. That means most people have the load of samskara. Okay? We saw the concept of samskara earlier. So we carry the load of samskara. And most of the samskara is in the form of tamo guna and rajo guna. So tamo guna makes you dull. Okay, it hides your awareness. It makes you sluggish, lazy. Okay, and it hinders self-inquiry. So if you are governed by tamas, you are not interested in spirituality. You won't be interested. You'll be interested in fulfilling your senses. You'll run after sensual pleasures only. And rajas are people, those who are dominated by rajas, their mind is extroverted. They always will be thinking about some action. They wanted to do something. They'll be ambitious. Okay, they want to control others. They want to become leaders. I'm not saying all these are bad. The philosophy is not saying this is bad, but that is the natural expression. But when you compare sattva guna with these two, sattva guna is a very calm state. Okay, say here it will bring natural joy. Okay, and this will facilitate self-inquiry. So the proportion of these three gunas varies in every individual, but majority of people, they are dominated by raja and tamaguna. And sattva guna is lesser. So when Krishna said Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, Karma Yogena Jnana means, so who belongs to the category of or qualify to take up the practice of Jnana Yoga is someone who's more sattva. And you cannot become sattva without expressing and exhausting your action. So initially, all spiritual aspirants have to engage in a lot of action, because we come to this world to perform action, okay, not to be inert like a stone. But the teaching of the Gita is, but perform those actions with a spirit of dedication. Okay, that's why this spirit of dedication. So they used to they said this dedication should be towards your guru or the form of Godhead that you have chosen. Okay, so some people call Ishta Devata. Okay, in certain parts, the guru himself will become the what you call the source of dedication. Okay, so if you see what you call some great performers in this world, you see Vivekananda. So how he could perform such a feat? He could actually, at a time when the Westerners used to think that the Indians, they're actually pagans, that they're actually into animistic practice, and they are so ignorant. But when Vivekananda went to America, he revealed the secrets of Vedas, Vedanta, and all the great thoughts of Upanishads, and they become astonished. And since the time of Vivekananda, a lot of other gurus went to the Western countries, and now they are flocking to India to learn about Brahma Vidya, spiritual science. And the Western countries, they are already very advanced as far as material prosperity is concerned. But there is something is really lacking in spiritual sense. That's why if you look at the Scandinavian countries, you look at the statistics, this is not hearsay, you'll see all those countries, like Switzerland, Sweden and all that, they have a very good, system. Okay, very good governance, very good welfare system and so on. But they also have very high suicide rate, which is very intriguing. And the reason is because there's spiritual emptiness. So that's why there's a natural inclination for the Westerners now to learn the science about yoga and so on. Okay, and even this applies to the Eastern people also. So we shouldn't be too much into spirituality while neglecting the material prosperity. So we need to balance. And karma yoga is of utmost importance in spiritual practice. Okay. So from what we have seen just now, okay, we need to understand that everything in this universe is governed by Prakriti through the gunas. Okay, that means all of us are naturally we were dominated by the mode of nature, the Rajasic force, Tamasic force, and Sattvic force. But Rajasic force and Tamasic force are naturally dominant in most majority of human beings, and very few people are predominantly Sattvic. So most people need to do karma yoga, okay, the action with proper awareness, that means with the spirit of dedication to exhaust major samskara, okay, in the form of prarabdha, before they are ready for higher sadhana, higher spiritual practice. Okay. So you can see that most people who perform this kind of actions, just like I give an example, scientists, great politician, even some great businessman, so some great industrialists. Okay. Uh, their spirit of dedication resulted in many what I call many types of achievement. For example, because one person is dedicated to discover what I call this, or to discover the technology to make aircraft. Okay, today we all can fly. Okay, so all great discovery of human beings are actually the result of karma yoga. So even in, spiritually, uh, you see some of the gurus, so they are very dedicated to their gurus, and that's why they will somehow found a certain organization. For example, Paramahamsa Satyananda of Bihar School of Yoga, he's a disciple of Swami Sivananda, and because of his dedication towards his guru, he founded the International Yoga Fellowship, and started this what do you call this campaign of spreading yoga to many countries. Okay, so even our guru in the early 1950s, okay, he was just a normal railway employee, and he told the early disciples that you're going to start a worldwide mission, an organization which is going to be present at every part of this globe, and people couldn't believe that at that time. And today, the Ananda Marga Pracharaka Sangha is present in more than 100 countries, okay, and doing a lot of social services and also spreading the teaching of yoga. Okay, so you can analyze all. You can analyze various people who made a difference in this world. So all this is due to karma yoga. Okay. So the more we exhaust our samskara, the more sattvic will become. Okay, that means if you don't perform a lot of action, if you leave what do you call a very maybe you're contented just to be a family man, a typical family man, just go to work, earn money, and then come back, okay, serve your family, just watch TV, take your family to vacation and so on, and there is no social consciousness. That means you won't really utilize your potential. Okay, and that means your evolution also will not be complete. I mean, there won't be much evolution. So I mean, your evolution will be slow, and you have to come back again in another life to fulfill this purpose. So that's why find a purpose in life. Okay, so not necessarily you have to be a meditating yogi and all that. I mean, everyone have certain um, what do you call talent. Okay, so you can utilize this talent and ensure that you can make a difference to other people's life. That means karma yoga is not only dedication towards your family, also dedication towards the society. Okay, so in the essence of that, the third sloka in the third chapter is that the path of jnana yoga and karma yoga are complementary to each other, but karma yoga precedes jnana yoga. So the conclusion of this week's lesson is that we must first strive to purify ourselves through karma yoga. Okay, and through karma yoga, by exhausting your karma with a spirit of dedication, you will attain higher awareness through the process of jnana yoga. So jnana yoga, there's two: studying the principle of spirituality, studying Bhagavad Gita, studying the Upanishads, studying Yoga Vasistha, all this. But you won't have the mental clarity if you have a lot of karmic load with you. So that's why after you do your karma yoga with proper spirits, then you'll be ready for the jnana yoga. So first, the principles in jnana yoga. Second is the action. What sort of action is the process? For example, the practice of Raja Yoga or Astanga Yoga, which has 8 limb. Okay? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. See, for you to be able to do this, okay, so you have to complete your course in Karma Yoga. And both Karma and Jnana Yoga leads you to Bhakti Yoga. And what is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is intense love which you develop, okay, towards Paramapurusha, towards God. And this is bhakti. And this bhakti is not the ritualistic bhakti that most people perform. Okay, that is a very basic form of spirituality. So, I mean, you have like you may do some image worship, or okay, that is the first step. Second one, maybe you get involved in japa yoga, and maybe some chanting some mantras, stuti, and so on. Third one is meditation, dharana and dhyana. The highest one is the state of Brahma Satbhava. Okay, to be established in the state of Brahma Bhavana. Okay, like some great yogis. Okay, but the bhakti which we are talking here, which we are discussing here, is that it's a pure love that you develop towards Paramapurusha, and you will not attain to this state before you purify yourself. Okay, so with that, I conclude the lesson for this week, and thank you for listening. Namaskar, and I welcome some questions and discussions.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Is it Velu?
Yes, it's me, Brother
Yeah,
Padma. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Yes, I am
Yeah.
doing very well. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
And thank you for, again, yet another wonderful discourse. Okay. My question is, okay, I really enjoyed the part where you said you have to go through the karma yoga, and then once that is clarified and out of the way, then you can carry on to your jnana yoga.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Can I ask, in order to perform correct karma yoga, I have to mix it with proper dharma as well. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where karma and dharma comes as one force, I think.
So what is your dharma is at the very root. Okay, without dharma you cannot perform karma, because the very reason you exist is because of dharma. Whenever we discuss this concept of dharma, artha, kama, moksha every week, you see, this kama is the instinct for survival. Okay, but the guiding force at the subterranean level is dharma. That means to exist is dharma primarily. That's why to survive is very important for human being. And you cannot just survive, you have to progress in life. So that is also being motivated by dharma. And after you fulfill these two, and there's natural awakening towards the purpose of dharma, which is psycho-spiritual awakening, okay, towards Atma Vichar. Okay. And that Atma Vichar, so when you have Atma Vichar, so you have a lot of questions: who am I, why I'm here, where am I going, and all that. So you will come across the Dharma Sastras, and the Dharma Sastras will reveal to you that yes, so you have to unite yourself, Paramatma. You are actually Jivatma. So why you are Jivatma, and what constitutes a Jivatma? Like we discussed earlier. So like the component of Jiva, Mahat, Aham, Chitta, and your Deha, and the Atma, the Jivatman itself as the what you call witness. So these are the process of. This is the process of Jnana Yoga. It means you are trying to understand. But then how shall I move about? Then again the Dharma Shastra will say, no, you cannot straight away move. You have a lot of load. You are carrying the load of samskara, so you have to unburden yourself. Okay, but how to unburden? You cannot simply unburden, because you are already in a fixed kind of situation because of your prarabdha. So like you are in Malaysia and suddenly you land in Australia. So why you suddenly are in Australia? So there's a reason for it. And then why you end up with a certain person who become your spouse, and why you join a certain company. So a lot of things for which you don't have answer. But then you are constantly doing action, knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes you are not motivated, sometimes you are motivated. So karma yoga is to perform action all the time with same motivation, without a feeling of, hey, why I'm here, why am I supposed to go to work, Hey,
Yes.
I don't like this life. Okay. So a karma yogi will be constantly inspired. There's constant inspiration. And
Yes. Okay.
so that goes hand in hand with Jnana Yoga. So part of Jnana Yoga is the sadhana that you are doing. Okay.
Yes.
So Jnana Yoga, there are two components. So one is to know what is to be done, and what is to be done to expand your awareness. So that is your sadhana.
Yes.
And
Okay.
together you do karma yoga. But then the biggest component is always karma yoga. That means because you are constantly in action, isn't it? So you may do sadhana in the morning and evening, and this karma yoga itself will become a greater sadhana when you do it Brahma Bhavana. Okay. So okay, so that is the whole thing basically.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and when
Then
you have when you have exhausted the major portion of your karma, your prarabdha, you will become more sattvic, and you will naturally begin to enjoy the higher states of sadhana.
Yes.
Like the eighth limb, after the state after the fifth limb will begin only after you become more and more sattvic. Yep.
Okay. So I am actually easing the prarabdha that I'm
Yes.
going through, which is the current samskara
Karma.
that is happening to me.
Correct.
And that can be like you said, three types: drida, adrida, and then
And
drida,
drida,
adrida.
drida, yes.
So in all three that is happening to me, I just become equally balanced in my mind to carry out according to my dharma, and then I just clear it out. And that is the point of this.
Correct.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm getting it. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you for
All
your
right.
question.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Okay. You're welcome. And any other participant with any question? Okay. While somebody might be formulating the question, you see, this sessions the Bhagavad Gita series is going to be there another couple of weeks. But after that, we'll continue with this Dharma, talk under various, under various title and under various topic. And this particular topic on Karma Yoga is not an easy topic to understand. So this is just the Karma Yoga in a nutshell. Okay, this is an introduction. And of course, next week we will have the part 2 of it. But still, in future, we will do this topic again. Okay, I mean, in a deeper level. I mean, we'll explore it further. Okay. Okay. Any other question? You still have time?
Can I ask?
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
All right, brother. I've got a question about sadhana and if I can use the word energy that it's being built in me. Let's say if I'm doing sadhana for about maybe 6 months continuously every day.
Okay.
And obviously I'm building something within me. Maybe it's some energy or some frequency. Let me say that. The reason why I'm using that word is, okay, let's say one day I just follow somebody, a friend of mine, to a temple deep inside the villages. You know, they have this village deity.
Okay.
And there they do a different kind of approach to whatever it is that they do. And obviously the energy there, it is very different. So how will it affect what is happening within me or not, just by me being there?
No. Actually, this it's not only about being in village temple. You know, we are constantly moving in many places, isn't it? Okay, and every place that we go, or even the place that we stay, it comes under this the three categories of energy. Okay, so now, like for example, I'm in the city of Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so every city in this world, it is very tamasic and rajasic. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
But if you go to a hill station, it's that place is more sattvic in nature. Or if you go to a place like Himalayas, or even like Tiruvannamalai and Arunachal, so those places are very sattvic in nature. Okay, so of course naturally your mind will be in tune with that that kind of energy. Okay, so if you go to village temple, see it's so it has certain kind of energy, definitely. So it's usually more rajasic and all that. But you are just going there for a short period of time, so that's not going to affect you negatively. Of course, it may influence you in certain way. Okay,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
all. Okay, it's subject at how much you open up yourself. See, I mean, like if you open up to any kind of energy, that energy can enter you, but you also can lock yourself, and another energy won't be able to affect you. Okay?
I see.
See, that's why when you do sadhana in public, suppose you go to a temple, okay, so like the lesson that you have now is Ishvara Pranidhan. So it's always done with your fingers interlocked.
Yes.
This is actually to close the circuit.
I see.
And some persons, I mean, they'll also, they might have received the higher lessons like pranayama. And pranayama is not supposed to be done in the public place like that. Okay, because when you do pranayama in a temple or a place where maybe a person is there, few person comes and goes, or somebody already came earlier and left, but their thought vibration will be still in the atmosphere. If you do pranayama, so when you do that breathing, you will absorb those thoughts, and that will go into your system. And even the hand position, say like the mudras that you do, like opening the palm, certain lesson is required to open up the palm. Like that, those kind of mudras are not supposed to be done in public place. Okay, so that's one say. So means like wherever you go, so you have to close your energy. I mean, you should be in certain defense mechanism. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, if we're close to 9 o'clock, last one question, the last call for today.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
May I ask, this sentence, through Bhakti Yoga, we will develop intention of
may I know who's talking? Okay, Mr. Vasan. Yeah.
So, how to develop this Bhakti when I don't know who's Parama Purusha? No, to my level of understanding, no level, there must be object of love to be loved.
Okay, this is a very important question. See, last week, I think you were also there in the last week class. See, we said that when you take up spirituality, there are certain basic principles that we need to understand. Okay, so that is the principle about Jivatma, about Paramatma, and Veda. Okay, so first you may not understand what is this Paramatma. Okay, so whatever understanding that you may have up to today is all concept. Okay, so if you follow the part within the denomination of this Sanathana Dharma, so there are also several schools. Well, the more the school, I mean, I'm talking about the school of sectarian nature. So some schools said God is in this form of Shiva. Another school said God is in the form of Vishnu, Krishna. Another school says God is in the form of Shakti, or the female aspect, or the mother aspect of God. Okay, these are concepts. Okay. Okay, according to the guru who teach you, who imparts you lessons, so a certain kind of form will be assigned to you. Okay, we will come to that later. So before that, the primary thing that you need to understand is your own nature. Okay, so first you analyze yourself. Who are you? So you have to constantly involve in the process of Atma Vichar. Okay, who am I? So somehow I think you have attended some of these lessons, and I'm sure you also will be reading some materials and all that. Okay, first try to understand yourself. Okay, as a physical body, as a mind, how your mind works. Okay, get involved in it seriously. Okay, and through logical analysis, somehow you'll understand the Atmic principle. So the Atma is the subtlest form of awareness in us, the most subtlest, and it is there. So for you to get a clearer understanding about Paramapurusha, is first you have to understand your Atman. You will know Paramapurusha through your own Atman only. Your Atman is the door. But even before you come to the Atman, first by unfolding the unconscious mind itself, you'll get that awareness. Okay, So your first struggle or the effort is that to stabilize your conscious and subconscious. So you have to learn sadhana, some basic sadhana you have to start. Okay, first you have to thoroughly, you have to be you have to be settled with this. I mean, first do your analysis, study yourself. Okay, you can study Bhagavad Giita, you also can study, I mean, like if you study the second chapter, it talks about Atma, the nature of Atma and so on. Okay, and after you are settled, I mean, when you have that clear understanding, when you have clarity on that, then take up a form of sadhana. Okay, you can learn formally from an acharya or a particular school, or you can take up a simple practice. If you're not ready to go and learn under, but you can take a japa yoga, engage in this process for at least 6 months, and you will naturally experience certain things because of the stability that you brought to your conscious and subconscious mind. And you may even start to unfold your unconscious mind. Through that experience, then your own Atma will guide you towards Paramapurusha. Okay? And we can also have this discussion, like, because this is a big subject. But without you engaging, exhausting, I mean, that process of Atma Vichar, okay, self-study, Atma Vichar involves self-study, and a little bit of scriptural study. You have to do it and get involved in some sadhana. Did I answer your question? Or do we need a further clarification on this?
Thanks.
Yeah, so you have to get involved in the process, okay? And God is not far away, He's in you. The both Jivatma and Paramatma is also, again, is a concept. Jivatma, your Atma is in the state of Jivatma because of it is in ignorance. Remember the picture that we shared about the two birds? Do you remember that? So Jivatma is because it is engaged with eating fruit. So that's why it forgot its nature. Its own nature is Paramatma. Okay, so you don't have to find God. If you read some mythology, it says God is in Vaikuntha, God is in Kailash. It is just, I mean, those are just concepts. So it's all within you only, but you need to undergo the process, self-purification, and you'll arrive there. All right, thanks for the question. Okay, any more question?
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, if there's no more question, I think we can conclude the lesson this week. Thanks for listening and participating in this session. Okay, we will see you again next week. Namaskar.
Thank you.